Hello, this is That Talking Podcast. I'm JJ Starr.
And I'm Downtown Andy.
Welcome, welcome. We're here to talk and bring some civil discourse to an otherwise discordant world.
Don't ask me how I am. You know how I am.
This is the most second take a second take could ever get without realizing it until this morning. Literally finding out that all of the episodes that we recorded and had in the can, my microphone had reverb on it.
Completely useless. Well, not completely. I mean,
no,
I would
completely
listen,
useless.
I would put them out because
it was awful.
It's for the fans.
It is the most fucking distracting thing I've ever had to listen to.
You're so
in my life.
anti-fan.
I'm not anti-fan.
You're anti-fan. You know that
Listen, the only thing that recording had to do with a fan was it sounded like I was speaking into a fan while I was recording it.
Like into their mouth?
Yeah, no, like directly through an oscillating fan. Like,
now you just sound like a Simpsons character.
Well, anyway, we're doing it again.
All right. Civil discourse all the way. Get to it.
Yeah, we got some rules. 3 rules for the sake of civility. Nothing personal, no judgment, and don't be a dick.
We're in the office today, and this one's got her face buried between 2 sharks. Of course, I'm talking about our executive producer, Sadie G. Say hello to the people.
Sadie G.
She's just giving me the stink eye.
She's like, whatever. So... What we were talking about.
Yeah, what did we pick for this week?
So what we were talking about is we were going to talk about cussing.
Cussing.
We were going to talk about them cuss words.
Now we're going to end up with a whole new episode because
we're bringing a whole new light to it at this point boy. Now. But I don't think I actually asked you this in take 1, and I'm going to ask you now. How do you feel about cuss words?
I mean, now that I'm an adult, and that it can just come. I mean, like curse words don't naturally come from me unless I feel compelled to.
Or you drop something.
Not even. There's no such thing as dropping because, again, I'm an adult. I can do whatever I want. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
No, I'm saying that you drop things and automatically it's goddamn piss motherfucker.
Oh, that's because Gravity and I are not friends. But what I'm saying is that I don't intrinsically curse unless I intend to because, like, there's no reason in my mind for it.
See, and whereas for me... It's just something that peppers my everyday language.
Like if I stub my toe against the bed frame, like I typically tend to do, I go motherfucker.
Yes, you do.
Just like that.
Well, I think that it's probably something that most people do. Most people want to do. Maybe that they have trained themselves to not cuss. So they use a different expletive.
It's learned behavior, though.
It is learned behavior.
Like if I drop a piece of mail or have to get out of the truck for any reason,
you're
son of a
you're
bitch.
So angry.
And the bitch is always son of a bitch. And it doesn't even matter if someone is around or not.
But that's just it. Is that like to me? I mean, again, I have always been a proponent of it's just words. Language is language. It doesn't matter and everything. But some of it is rude.
We don't need to speed through this.
No, we're not speeding through it. But like that's just it. Is that like it's
that whole urgency of
fucking up the first episode. People would probably look at me. People who listen to this podcast would probably look at me and be like, "You got a potty mouth on you," and I do.
No, you're just loud.
No, I have a potty mouth on me. Also, I swear all the time, but I don't think of it as swearing. Like it's not. When we were kids, it was foreboding.
Yeah.
But like as an adult, it's just a part of my everyday vernacular.
Let's give the backstory real quick. Take 1 was all about how when we were kids, cursing was for adults.
Yes.
Or at least that was supposed to be our perception of what it was.
It's certainly still my perception of it for sure.
But we are adults.
Yeah.
And I mean.
But like now it's so prevalent. Like before, you think about it when you were a kid, right? And there was an R-rated movie, chances are it's because there was a whole lot of fuck words in it. And
no.
For me, definitely.
R-rated movies when we were kids were like fuck was always like the be all end all. It was the worst thing you could possibly say.
Yeah.
The majority of your R-rated movies was shit, damn, hell, crap, bitch.
Oh no, fuck. R-rated movies, because you could have a PG-13 movie with all of those things in it, but if they drop the fuck word,
I think you're confusing.
That made it an R-rated movie. No, I'm not confusing anything. I know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Now, I remember that the first R-rated movie that my parents let me watch was My Cousin Vinny. And the reason why
you a fucking world traveler?
Because I was very adamant about you cannot see this until you are old enough to understand that it is full of bad words.
Oh, that didn't stop me.
It didn't stop me. My parents stopped me.
I distinctly remember my dad would not get out of his chair to make me leave the room when A Few Good Men came on. And I don't see what the big deal was. It's not like at 5 years old I was going to understand what blowjob references were.
I'm not talking about a blowjob reference. I'm specifically talking about...
Well, there were cuss words in that movie.
I'm talking about cuss words.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Now, okay. 2 things sparked this topic. 2 things. Number 1, the penis incident.
You want to? I know you want to elaborate on that.
We've already mentioned it. We
mentioned it in take 1. We haven't mentioned.
No, we already did mention this in passing.
Well, for those who are previous episode, for the uninitiated,
will you let me
get to it?
So a couple of weeks ago, in a silent room, your 7-year-old, your step 7-year-old, your 7-year-old just went penis.
What did he do? What did he do on Sunday that you thought he said?
He's a big fat liar. I love that kid to death, but he's a big fat liar. He dropped the
football?
No, because you kicked a football over his head, and the kid screamed, "God damn it!" Okay, because if nothing else, he is his father's son.
What happened to the days when those things were cute?
Cute is beside itself.
All right, so he said penis. Penis isn't a curse word, though.
No, it's not. But the kid screamed penis because he thought it was funny, and we made a point of saying, now, regardless of the fact that it's funny,
and the fact that I have not yet shown you Born on the 4th of July,
you make sure that you're not saying these things. Specifically, we said at school,
right?
Okay. And when you mentioned to his mother later that evening,
here we go.
She specifically said, "Oh yeah, he says stuff like that. He says worse than that." First of all, he's 7. That's a little upsetting to me, but just because we grew up being told that you don't say those things when you're a kid, okay?
Listen, go ahead.
But so she said he knows not to say it in front of other people. That's for inside the house. God. Okay? So I guess that's the win that we're supposed to take away from this.
I lost this battle a long time ago because there are behaviors of both kids that I have attempted to curb over the years that is a losing battle for me because they don't live here. They don't live with us. They're not under our rules. They don't have our influence nearly as much as their mothers. And the problem with that is she not only lets a lot of things go, but she exercises certain, unsuitable behaviors for, in public.
She doesn't exactly lead by example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sees nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, because
that's where the conflict occurs because, I used to tell Oliver all the time, please don't curse in front of your brother. I don't want him growing up saying this stuff at class or to his teachers or whatever. God only knows the kinds of things Oliver may have said to his teachers or in front of his teachers already.
Well, that's the thing that gets me is that it's so prevalent these days. I don't know that anybody actually...
Remember the days when
I don't think it makes anybody blush anymore.
You would have to look around each corner to make sure a teacher wasn't around before you said something?
Stepping on me. I remember being called to the back of the bus by the older kids. I was called. I didn't sit back there.
That's where they pulled you in.
That's where it all began. That's where my lore started. All right. They pulled me to the back of the bus and they asked me, they're like, "Do you curse?"
Really?
Oh, yeah. This is one of the weirdest. That
seems so juvenile.
It's
just
one of the weirdest.
Do you make out?
Yeah, it's one of the weirdest fucking memories I've had.
You get high?
But you cool?
Yeah.
But
you smoke?
That's just it. It's just do you curse? And that was
you play hopscotch?
That was the first time I ever said the word motherfucker.
Do you pog?
Stop!
I'm having fun. Oh, now you can kick me. I see.
Well, you're putting your dirty shoes on.
I
me.
didn't. Oh,
so it was a thing that when I was a kid, I believed that you were allowed to do it when you were a grown up. That was that was it. Now, granted, when I was a younger grown up, but still a grown up, I still felt like I masked it a little bit, like I code switched a little bit, like when I was around my parents. I didn't want to say the fuck word in front of my parents. And if I did, I would even excuse myself. Now, the older boy, I have simply like gotten to the point where I'm just like, listen, he's almost 16. There's literally no way to stop
But
him.
that is no excuse for the years before this where we tried to curb it and he had no filter.
Yes. Now, when we did try to curb it, we played a game where we, you
had a chart.
Exactly. And if you said bad words, you lost points, and then something would be taken away, like phone. TV or the phone or the computer.
Which never worked.
Like no, it never did work. And it certainly didn't stick. But now that it is so the other thing that sparked this, right?
Mm-hmm.
You and I have been binge watching Suits on Netflix.
Did we mention this in take one?
No.
Okay, hit me.
So we have been binge watching Suits. Now you're talking about a TV drama that was on cable, perfectly fucking fine,
Donna,
right?
Hit me.
But like out of nowhere, starting in, I believe, either season 6 or season 7.
Maybe it was 5.
No, it wasn't 5. Sure? It was either 6 or 7. Excuse me. They just all of a sudden started dropping fuck bombs all over the place.
Uncensored.
And I'm just like, what is happening? We're not a sponsor.
Right now? Did we already say that? Who cares?
I'm like, what is happening right now? And I think about it, like when we were kids, like if you had the nerve to stay up past 10 p.m. to watch like South Park or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
You basically hid that from your parents.
Of course.
Because remember when we went to go see the South Park movie, it was so fun because like it was uncensored.
Yeah, but your parents weren't taking you to see the South Park movie. And they knew you were going to see that with friends. They put the kibosh on that.
But it's like, that's just it. It's like nowadays, TV isn't censored anymore. I remember like when we were growing up, like network TV and even most cable TV shows, except for like the pay cable, like HBO and stuff like that. Stems from... They would, they'd say damn, they'd say dick every once in a while.
That stems from the larger concept of the fact that most people want to do certain things or say certain things because they either are told not to or shouldn't, or it's implied that they can't. It becomes more appealing that way. If somebody tells you you're not allowed to do this, well, then that's just going to make you want to go and do it more.
Like forbidden fruit.
Sure.
Okay. But I mean, like, I really
keep going.
But it just, is it nothing more than an uphill battle to try and impart on young kids?
Listen,
not even teenagers. You're interrupting me.
You're damn right I am.
Is it nothing more than an uphill battle to try and impart on children? And I'm talking preteen, tween, even single digits, like your son.
Listen,
is it an uphill battle to say, listen, you shouldn't be using these words because for one, you don't even know what they mean, and for two, I feel that you are too young to understand what they mean.
Listen, I know I'm gonna get shit if she were to ever listen to this episode.
You'd probably get shit if she listened to any of it.
Of course. But the fact of the matter is that there's nothing I can do. At least in the time that Henry is with us, I certainly don't hear him doing it all that often. If Oliver's with us, we hear him doing it left and right because he doesn't even know how to stop himself at this point, nor does he care to.
It's just sort of a comma with him.
But the problem is that the importance of not doing it in front of his impressionable brother isn't enough for him to curb it himself. That's the bigger issue. Now, Henry does know not to do this in front of teachers, other kids, whatever. I'm sure that'll phase out at some point when he gets to middle school.
I worry that it's going to phase out very quickly.
You keep having to remind me that we were all 15 once, and again, we wanted to do things against the grain because, they seemed appealing once you're told you're not supposed to do those things.
But when we were kids, when we were 7 and 8 years old, I know I got in trouble if I said something sucked.
Yeah. Because adults,
if I said something sucked, my mother would be like, don't say that.
The adults in our lives didn't want to hear us doing that for a multitude of reasons. The main of which being they always told us that it made us seem unintelligent and it was disrespectful. Now that is in wisdom I tried to impart to both kids.
Yeah.
Oliver was so perplexed when I told it to him as if to say, it's disrespectful. I'm like, well, yeah, it is, because adults don't typically want to hear those words, let alone hear them coming out of their children's mouths.
Yeah.
Because again, it makes other people think of you differently. And no parent wants their child thought of as a disrespectful or unintelligent or any other kind of disreputable quality in regards to their children. But again, I gave up because I realized that no matter how much I tried talking to him, it's never going to stop. And I didn't want to go the route of my parents where I forced the punishments upon him as a response to him doing it. Because again, we concurred in take one that there's no such thing as bad words. There's bad intentions.
Yes.
Oliver, and even when neither one of them intends to hurt or harm anyone's sensibilities when saying these things.
I'd like to believe.
Certainly not in front of us. They're not doing it out of spite.
No, and like I had said in take one, that, you know, if they just, you know, if one of these kids dropped a fuck word in front of me, I would probably be like, hey, language. But if one of them looked at me and said, fuck you, I'd be like, okay,
that's different.
We have a problem.
I lost count of the amount of times that their mother, their grandparents, their aunts, uncles, cousins, everybody cussed at me with the intent of insulting me or anybody else in their lives. Again, that's learned behavior. And the reason it trickled down is because they are among the people of this world who are going to do and say whatever they want, whenever they want, and no one's going to tell them not. That is their perspective on life. I'm an adult now. I can do what I want. No one's going to tell me not to. And fuck you for, you know, insisting that I censor myself just because you don't want to hear it.
Now, I do not I don't get bugged. I don't get, I don't blush or anything when I hear someone swearing in public. I never have. Maybe if I was like a young child, I'd be like, oh, but like, I personally don't care. And I don't particularly consciously go out of my way to censor myself when I'm ootin' a boot. But I do understand that it can be perceived as impolite. So I won't scream it at the top of my lungs. Like if I have an argument with a customer service representative, I'm not going to be like, you're a fucking moron in front of a bunch of people.
Well, that is an example
I would never
of
do that.
Intent, because the reason I stress the difference between the words and the intentions is because of the fact that most of these words that we think of as cuss words all have either alternate meanings or acronyms for something. All have legitimate meanings. Like, what is a bitch? A female dog.
It is.
What is fuck? An acronym for fuck under consent of king.
Well, fornicate.
Fornicate, fuck, whatever. Okay? Ass is a donkey.
Yeah.
Shit is what comes out of your butt.
It's a poopy.
But again, it's not the word that makes the difference. It's the intention. It's the way you convey what you're saying with said vocabulary.
Now we can really get into it because we got into this in take one. The cunt word.
Oh, wonderful cunts.
Oh, right. Now, the thing is that, I mean, you're talking, this is an old Word.
Shakespearean,
Chaucerian. I mean, I remember seeing it in Middle English and everything. And, it's like, and in certain, I don't know what the fuck you're doing right now. Okay? So,
I'm on the fence about whether or not I want to. Never mind.
So, but like, this is a word that I know most women today,
don't want to.
Modern women. It's 2025. They don't want to hear it because, excuse me, because it is
like the biggest insult.
Often, I suppose, considered an ugly word for the vagina.
Yeah. Now, I was on the fence about whether I wanted to say this or not in take two because of how you reacted in take one. But the reality of it is that it's generally used in an insulting manner by men and women towards each other, towards themselves, whatever. But because of its connotation, its synonyms are slit, gash, hatchet wound. I'm sorry, but that's reality. That's what people perceive it as. And they use it in a manner that dictates as such.
Now, at the same time, on the other side of that gender coin, right? You have dick, you have dickhead, you've
Rod
got
Johnson.
You've got pecker and stuff like that. I like pecker. I think it's cute. But like,
I'm glad you got that out.
But like, it's they're it's the intention behind it. Like, when you call somebody a bitch, whether it's a man, a woman, or anything in between, if you call somebody a bitch, it's like that at this point, it has evolved so far that it is barely an insult anymore.
It's like the equivalent of me calling my T6 Lewis Litt.
It's barely an insult at this point. But if you really want to drive it home that someone's being a bitch, you would call them a cunt at this point.
A fucking bitch.
But like, it's just a word. It's just a word. People have a problem with the word moist.
Yeah, and floppy.
And I don't understand any of that. I mean, this is just language, and language is language. So I am torn emotionally in my heart and my guts. I am torn when I hear younger and younger and younger people at this point using cuss words when they may or may not even know what they're saying. Wait. But because I don't necessarily want them to, because to me, that's still grown-up language. But at the same time, I don't want them under the impression that it's nothing more than words.
Let's dissect this a little further. Okay? We're talking about people's discomfort, which is essentially why adults didn't want us doing it when we were children, and probably since the beginning of time. Adults don't want to hear kids doing it because they don't want them to grow up with not being unintelligent, but acting out in a manner that would allow society at large to what?
I think, are you going in the same direction that I'm thinking?
To create a inaccurate perception in their minds of the person using the vocabulary.
I don't know that that's it. I think that it might be that parents don't want their children using language like that, especially in front of other people, because it reflects poorly on how they are raised.
That's another part of it. My parents used to say that all the time. Like, we were never allowed to leave the house wearing ripped jeans because that's a reflection on our parents. Yeah. Not true. We just liked the jeans that we wore if they were comfortable. I certainly didn't care if they had fucking holes in them.
Exactly. I still don't.
But at the same time, it's what we're getting at is that people are discomforted by a variety of things, words included.
Yeah.
But what I think makes a person less intelligent or less respectful is when you choose to use such words solely for the purpose of making somebody uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, if somebody is bothered by certain words, you don't just openly say them just because you can. Some people will, but that doesn't make it, that certainly doesn't make you a better person for doing it.
I don't know.
It makes you an asshole. like to a larger, point of view. I know people who egg me on politically just because they can, because they like getting, we've talked about this before. Yeah. People like getting a reaction out of me. Certainly, once we knew that certain words affected our parents' sensibilities, some of us would push the envelope and be like, oh, I'm going to see what I can get away with here, or with teachers and stuff like that. Yeah. Same thing, like we found out in freshman year, our history teacher couldn't be in a room with perfumes. Like, if anybody was wearing cologne or spray or something like that, she'd have to leave the room because she was allergic. Kids started spraying it left and right to get her out of the room. Yeah. That's kind of a dick thing to do.
That is a dick thing to do. I mean, you're talking about an allergy.
Yeah.
Right? But like, I don't know. Like, I have such a hard time with this because I don't, excuse me, I'm still sick.
It's the forbidden fruits, analogy, because once kids know they're not supposed to do it, they're going to want to do it more.
But I feel like for me, I feel like I'm so torn on the issue of younger kids.
Let me ask you this.
Never going to get this out of my face.
You will get it out of your face.
No, I'm not. Go for it.
I'm trying to have an interactive episode
Well,
here.
Have it then. Jesus Christ. What do you got?
I was going to say, do you think that if adults are more likely to express to younger generations that it's not really all a big deal, do you think they'd be less inclined to use the language because they figure, well, it's not offending anybody, so...
No.
You think they'd use it more?
I don't think. I don't think it would make a difference whatsoever.
Then what harm is it doing?
But that's just it. This is what I've been trying to say.
See, I set you up. You're welcome.
I have been trying to say that I am torn between wanting to encourage young kids not to swear, not to use cuss words, not to use foul language, just frivolously. Okay? Like, the older boy's reaction to literally everything is, oh shit. Whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, oh shit.
Well, if he wasn't hearing it at home, then it wouldn't be part of his lexicon.
I disagree entirely because it has permeated all media.
But exactly. Again, if he hadn't even heard it once, if nobody had ever uttered it in his presence, how would he know it exists?
He would have to be hiding under a rock for the rest of his life in order
But
for
answer
no
my question. How
it.
would he know it exists if he was never, done in front of him?
And I understand that. But it's like, even if his mother had the mouth of an angel, literally, if no one in his family ever used a cuss word in front of him, he'd hear it at school, he'd hear it on TV, he'd hear it on social media.
You think he's going to hear this episode?
Under a goddamn rock in order for it not to hit him.
You think he's going to hear this one?
I think he's too busy being 15 and playing with his girlfriend. But the fact of the matter is that I am extremely torn between the idea of encouraging kids to not use foul language for whatever reason, because I don't even know what my reason is for it. I don't, because I truly do believe that language is simply language. I am not a proponent of words cause harm.
So if words don't cause harm, then what do you care if children use it or not?
I just think that it's insane that they are.
I mean, you're
that our generation, we were raised so staunchly to not use foul language, that we now evolving into parents are no longer encouraging kids to not use it. It's a weird choice to me.
I think it's a better use of our parenting if we are to encourage them more so to do the positive than to shut out the negative.
Like,
no. I want to expand on this.
Okay, go for it.
Don't you think it's better suited for them if we encourage them to do things that are positive, that benefit them, that further their education, their motivation, versus being like, don't do that, don't do this.
Absolutely, of course I do.
So then it's really not in our interest to be like, don't curse, don't watch this movie, don't do this. It should be, yeah, go to this school, go join this, after school program, go talk to this group of kids, like, go study for that
but if
you get where I'm going with this.
But if we do not explain to kids, right? Because when you explain to Oliver that, it's rude, or it's not best practice to use bad language, right? And he was so perplexed by it. If we don't tell them that, and then they use it in front of an authority figure like a teacher, and then they get in trouble for it, how the hell are they going to understand?
He's already gotten in trouble for cursing in front of his band director.
No, I'm talking about the young one now.
We'll have to cross that bridge when we come to it. But I like to take this avenue when it comes to things like this, because I could stress these things to him till he's blue in the face, or till I'm blue in the face. But if it doesn't resonate with him, if he doesn't see the value or the importance in it, then it's not going to fucking matter.
God, doesn't that suck though?
Here's the thing. You remember the movie Road Trip?
Bits and pieces.
Okay. Those who've seen it probably remember the end scene when they're on the bus going home, and he's like, I have this test I have to learn about and study for in 36 hours, otherwise I'm going to fail. He's like, what is it? Ancient philosophy. And one of the guys is like, I could teach you ancient philosophy in 26 hours. The key's just finding a way to relate to the material. He's like, I could teach Japanese to a monkey in 46 hours. He's like, Socrates. You like pro wrestling, right? Socrates. He was the Vince McMahon. He started it all. And again, when you find a way to allow someone to relate to what you're talking about, it's going to resonate. It's going to stick with them.
Let me ask you this. On Sundays, when the boy is downstairs, adamant about holding on to the remote so no one can change the channel on him, and he's watching all of that Minecraft nonsense that Mikey and JJ, and all they're doing is calling things idiots and talking about murder. Do you find that perfectly reasonable for a 7-year-old to be paying attention to?
Absolutely not.
Okay. And yet,
it's...
Because, I mean, we were told, be careful of watching cartoons, right? When we were kids because of violence and stupidity and grossness.
You have no idea how large the tab is for me at Acme Anvils.
I'm sure.
And pianos.
I'm sure.
Listen, even if I said no Mikey and JJ when you're at Daddy's house, he's gonna watch it when he goes home. He's gonna watch it at school. It's not gonna make a difference.
But isn't that just defeatist? Like when it's like it's like we can't shelter him. Obviously, we can't shelter him from watching this ridiculous stuff. We can't shelter him from using bad language. We especially can't shelter him from hearing bad language. But now it's getting to a point where we're going to have to understand that he's using bad language also.
Listen, this was inevitable, and it's a numbers game at this point. He is living with his mother and his brother. He is hearing cursing left and right, whether
of course he is.
From their mouths or on the television or computers or whatever. Either he's playing the games himself or looking over Oliver's shoulder at his computer, he's seeing the stuff. Okay, There's no avoiding it at this point, and he will inevitably start to curse, and we will have to address that when it happens.
Right?
Okay. I am not going to make the mistakes of my parents, of my teachers, of people of the past, and take every one of those opportunities to lose my temper with him and then punish him for doing what he did.
Obviously.
The responsible thing in my mind is to explain to him why it's wrong. Now, if it sticks with him, great. If not, I did what I could.
Now let me ask you that.
But you have to show them the alternative. You have to be able to influence them to a different way of thinking.
Now, here's where I think the rub is. Are we hypocrites?
Are we?
Are we?
How are we hypocrites?
We swear all the time.
Well,
and we can't even say we don't cuss around the boy because we do.
Because again, listen,
we absolutely do.
I made a very conscious effort when he was younger, from birth to probably 4 or 5. I was adamant about not cursing in front of him, just like how when Oliver was that age, I was adamant about not cursing in front of him.
Because they're a sponge.
Once I realized that no matter how much I didn't and how much I insisted that Oliver don't and explained to him why he shouldn't, that he's just going to do it anyway, I said, all right, he's getting older, and at that age, I would have wanted to do it too. And as long as he's not going up to anyone and saying, fuck you, certainly of worse. Oliver's tested my patience before.
Yeah.
We've been sitting around playing cards, and he's said directly to my face things like, oh, you fucking this, or oh, you like whatever.
Yeah.
And in those moments, I've been like, whoa.
Yeah, slow your roll there, bruh.
But again, I'm not going to lose my shit because I'm not my father.
Right.
And as I said in one of the takes of the other episodes, I'm like, listen, I used to lose my shit with him. I used to smack him like my dad smacked us.
Yeah.
I've sorely regretted it ever since because it made him afraid of me, and that's not what I wanted.
Right.
And we've had a lot of talks about that ever since. You know, there are alternative ways to parenting.
I know that it's coming. I know it's coming.
I'm not worried about Henry.
I'm not worried about it, but I know it's coming.
You kill him with kindness. You kill him with kindness.
Well, that's my line.
Yeah, you kill him with kindness.
That's what I tell you all the time. But you want to tell everyone to fuck off.
No, no matter what we say, think, or do, their mother is going to do what she does. Their grandparents are going to do what they do. They're going to always have that influence, whether we want them to have it or not.
But are we setting a poor example?
No,
because
not at all.
Are we?
Because unlike them, we are explaining to them in depth the reasons why it's not appropriate, why it's disrespectful, why it's unintelligent. We are giving them that alternative viewpoint and opening their eyes to a different way of thinking.
Yeah. I still don't want them doing it.
Because the other thing, too, is that what about their friends? Their friends are probably
the source of all this nonsense.
Hearing similar things from their parents, from TV shows that they watch, from podcasts and YouTube videos that they see.
Certainly
and
this one.
They're going to take it to the school bus and the cafeteria table and the recess yard. And you know what? Whether we want them to hear it or not, they're going to hear it from all sides. They're going to take it all in. But you and I turned out relatively okay.
We swear like sailors, though. I mean, again, it's one of those things because it doesn't affect me, but it's like, did our generation as parents fail a little bit?
You can't save everybody. I've had to learn that the hard way. Yeah. You know that I always want to be the fixer. I can't save everyone. Now, the best I can do is that when something doesn't go their way, and the direct result is because of behavior they either exhibited or didn't exhibit.
Yeah.
I point to those years and be like, well, maybe you shouldn't have said these things or done these things, you know? Like my coworkers tell me all the time, like, you're kind of an asshole. Don't you ever wonder why you don't have friends in here? I'm like, I know I'm an asshole.
I just don't. I don't know. I don't know if we are. I don't know if this is evolving. I don't know if it's evolving or devolving, that we are so desensitized to foul language at this point that it really isn't a problem. Like, there are so many other things for kids to get in trouble for. There are, kids bringing, we got in trouble for Pogs and Pokemon cards and Snap bracelets and stuff like that. No,
we didn't get in trouble for those things. We got in trouble for what we were doing with them.
We got in trouble for having them.
Yeah, once the authority figures saw what we were doing with them. Gambling, stealing.
But that's just it, is that, now, I mean, that no one gives a shit. It's like, oh, as long as you don't bring a weapon to school,
maybe you should stop cursing here and now.
We're not going to. Yeah, okay.
So you want to lead by example? Stop cursing on the podcast.
It's never going to happen.
Oh, so you're having a defeatist attitude now.
No. I'm just not going to do that because, again, language is just language. I don't think words can hurt.
Well, then there's your example for the kids to follow. Language.
You're doing it too. You say it all the time.
I'm not being a hip. I'm not trying to insinuate. I'm not trying to insist the kids don't do it, at least not right now.
I'm not insisting that they don't do it. I'm trying to figure out whether or not our generation, has failed the up-and-coming generation by not giving them the same sort of, I guess, by sort of giving them the same sort of sensitivities that we grew up with. All right,
so we failed them. Do you want to keep dwelling on this, or do you want to find a way forward?
I'm not dwelling.
Well, you keep asking, did we fail them?
Did we?
As if to imply that there's no going back, that there's no saving anything from this point on.
You keep saying there's no point. There's no point. There's no point.
Because
give up.
Because in my mind, there are bigger battles to focus on.
I'm not suggesting that that's not true. I'm absolutely suggesting that it is. But is this one, like, where did it slip? Like, when did it happen?
When society placed a larger importance on personal freedom, okay, you're the champion against censorship.
Yes.
Okay, you are the resident champion against censorship. Everybody out there wants to be able to do and say whatever they want. People want to be able to smoke weed. People want to be able to drive fast cars. People want to be able to have access to technology and weapons and, more property and bigger houses and better paying jobs.
Right.
And, And the hell with anybody who would stand in my way.
So do you think that that's it? Do you think that it is actually like boiling down to like individual benefit versus the benefit of all? Do you think that is actually the crux of this particular issue?
I don't think we failed anybody. I think society changed over time.
Yeah.
Because the wants and needs of the public, certain things became closer to our grasp.
Did it change so subtly over time that we didn't even realize it?
No, we realized it because certain things is what we were fighting for.
Did it happen like in the blink of an eye?
Like, think about it. People for years talked about how marijuana was no worse than alcohol. Like, legalize it, get it out of the way, make it so that we don't have to incarcerate people over small offenses anymore.
Right.
Let them do it. And here we are. It took a couple of decades, but here we are. It's not federally legal yet, but it's still available for civilian purchase on a regular basis. But here's the thing. Once you don't have things to fight for anymore, then what is there? It's certainly not a utopia because not everybody has the same abilities and freedoms.
True.
So where do you go from there? What do you fight for? What do you educate people on?
I think that so many people they take the idea of the fight and they make it everything.
Their identity?
Yeah. Again, I'm not fighting against kids cussing. Personally, I think it's hilarious.
Well, I
think it's fucking
that kind of makes this
hilarious.
entire episode null and void.
But I think it's hilarious. But at the same time, my instinct, my primal instinct is when I hear a 7-year-old yell, "God damn it," at a football, while I want to laugh, I have to go, yo.
You can laugh when he falls flat on his back and kills himself.
It's one of those things, And I understand that you can't really study. You can't fight City Hall.
I think next week I'll just have him approach you with a signed document testifying that he promises not to curse while playing football.
Yeah, but the problem is it won't be notarized. Exactly.
Well, good enough for government work.
I don't know. I don't know that this is a problem, but it feels like it's supposed to be.
It's not an epidemic, okay?
It feels like it's supposed to be a problem.
I think maybe we should all just walk around wearing dog collars. And every time somebody curses, zip, zap.
That'd be interesting. Did you ever have a swear jar?
No.
You never had a swear jar?
No, we had the hot sauce.
Oh, so you had a punishment.
We had because our disciplinarian.
You had an outright punishment.
We got the ring hand, we got the belt, we got the shoe, the wooden spoon, we got pinned up against the walls, and when it came to cursing, we got the Tabasco. Now, Tabasco is in the line of hot sauces. Tabasco has such a potency to it that it's really not pleasant unless you have absolutely zero taste buds. So unless you are a heavy smoker or a heavy drinker or really like meth, you will not like Tabasco sauce. And not only did Dad give us Tabasco for cursing, make us not drink, he'd put a dab on the tongue. That made us all lovers of hot sauce. Like
my grandmother used to threaten, the wash your mouth out with soap.
That's not very sanitary.
No, but we never actually got it. She'd give us a smack. But, she would threaten to wash our mouths out with soap and everything.
But see, that's a very good example of why I don't physically discipline. I've never physically disciplined Henry.
Right.
Okay. But why I stopped physically disciplining Oliver after he was 6 or 7. Okay. Because once they realize that they can trust you not to do those things, when you really want to drive the important points home, they will be more comfortable opening up to and listening to you and really retaining what you give them.
I would like to believe that in the next, I'm going to be honest and say the next couple of years, when the little one starts cussing in front of us, really cussing in front of us, that we will at least be able to discourage him from doing it in front of us. Maybe.
Good talk.
Again, it's a little garbled because I don't know where I stand on this issue, because the fact of the matter is it's funny. It is. It's funny. It was funny when he yelled penis for no reason whatsoever. And we couldn't help but laugh at him.
Well, when he gets his first girlfriend, we'll make sure that's the first story we tell her.
We'll tell her all about the penis incident. We'll be sure to ask her if he's told her about the quote-unquote penis incident.
At least he's not afraid of his like I was of mine.
Afraid of his penis?
That's a story for another day.
Oh boy! All right. Well, thank you.
I'll let my brother tell you that one.
Thank you out there in podcast land. This was a blast. Thank you for listening to that talking podcast. Take 2. Yeah. And two more take 2s in the weeks to come. Right. So
Thursday we're playing Toad's Place in New Haven, Connecticut. Friday we're playing Fast Eddie's Billiards in New Milford, Connecticut, doing a fundraiser for the Connecticut Roller Derby team.
That's tax collectors in Harlot, not us. You and I will not be doing that.
We could.
That would be interesting. Just go up there.
Give them the love heart and the coat of arms plug and the.
Yes, find DT, Andy, and JJ Star with 2 R's on Instagram. Find Love Hard Art, Tax Collectors and Harlots, and Coat of Arms Tattoo Gallery. Find it all on social media. And go to our website, thattalkingpodcast.buzzsprout.com. Send us a text message. We are closing in on the end of season 1 here, and we have got some fun shit.
Make sure you go to the GoFundMe page to fix the hole in my jeans.
We'll start it. We'll put a tip jar out for your pants. Buy Andy pants.
Every time you swear, you got to put $1 in it.
Oh, man. That's how we can buy you pants.
Off of people's swears?
Oh, what if we each had an individual swear jar? And when we swear, we put money in the other person's jar.
No.
No?
I'll go flat broke putting money in your jar.
But, yes. So, social media.
That's why I had to put foam around the legs of the bed frame.
Off plugs. Yes. And stay tuned for some real fun shit coming up, and including merch. Who knows? And
Scratchers.
There you go. And that's a lid. And thank you for putting up with this. Hopefully, this one isn't echoing. And from the three of us at That Talking Podcast, I'm JJ Starr,
and I'm Downtown Andy.
We'll talk to you later.